Hello, class 11 students. We have seen that to what extent Iago was able to influence Othello, and he was very successful in planting the seeds of jealousy in Othello. Because when Othello came to know about the handkerchief, or when Iago tried to present the handkerchief as a proof against Desdemona's disloyalty towards him, he never questioned about the handkerchief, about how it came to him, but he at once pronounced a death sentence for both of them. Othello did not care to inquire how Cassio came by with the handkerchief of Desdemona. He passed the death sentence upon both of them. Desdemona had never given such a present to Cassio, nor would this constant lady have ever wronged her husband with doing so naughty a thing as to give her lord's present to another man. The shrewd Iago used his wife Emilia to steal the handkerchief from Desdemona and drop it in Cassio's way, where it might and thereby provide evidence to Iago's suggestion that it was Desdemona's present. So when Othello came to know about the handkerchief, he never asked another question that how is it how is it Iago that you have come across Desdemona's handkerchief? All these thoughts didn't come to his mind because he was so filled by jealousy with Cassio, and he was so filled with distrust towards his wife. He at once pronounced death sentence for them. But Desdemona was such a lady who will never think who would never think of doing such a thing as to give away a present that had been given by Othello, and that too means this present, any present by Othello would be the most precious thing for her on this earth. And she is a very she was a very faithful lady, so she will she can never do such a thing. But all these thoughts didn't come to Othello's mind. And how did Iago get hold of this handkerchief? He used his wife Emilia to steal the handkerchief from Desdemona. And what he did, he dropped it where Michael Cassio would find it. And then he used that handkerchief against Desdemona as a proof of her disloyalty to Othello. Soon after meeting with Iago, Othello pretended that he had a headache and longed her to lend him her handkerchief to hold it on his temples. Desdemona did so, but Othello wanted the handkerchief which he gave her. Desdemona could not find it. "That's a fault," said Othello. "That handkerchief was given to my mother by an Egyptian woman. She was a charmer and could almost read the thoughts of people. She told her, while she kept it, it would make her amiable and subdue my father entirely to her love. But if she lost it or made a gift of it, my father's eye should hold her loathsomely." The lady said, "Is it possible?" Othello replied, "It is true. It is a magical handkerchief." So, after having all these conversations with Iago, Othello went to his room and told Desdemona that, he pretended that he had a bad headache, and he said that, "Can you hold your handkerchief on my forehead, on my temples?" And Desdemona promptly did that, and Othello said, "No, I don't want this handkerchief. I want the handkerchief that I had given you as our first present. Can you give that to me?" So Desdemona said that, "Sorry, I don't have it right now. I can't find it." So Othello said, "That is a great fault. Means, how is it that you have lost it? Do you know what kind of a handkerchief was it? It was a magical handkerchief." And then he goes on to say the whole story behind it. He said that it was given, this handkerchief was given to Othello's mother by an Egyptian woman who was a charmer, that means a magician, and she had told his mother that as long as she kept the handkerchief, um, she would never be out of love of her husband. But if she lost it, then or made a present of this handkerchief, then her husband would hold her loathsomely. That is, her husband would stop loving her or start hating her, whichever way. So when Desdemona heard about this, she said that, "Is that possible?" So Othello said, "Yes, it is. It was a magical handkerchief. So don't you know that?" Desdemona was ready to die with fear, for she plainly perceived, saw, that she had lost it, and with it she feared the love of her husband. She tried to divert him from too serious thoughts. She cheerfully told him that all his talk about the handkerchief was only to put her off from Cassio's suit, and went on to praise him until Othello, in perfect distraction, burst out of the room. Then Desdemona began to suspect that her lord was jealous of Cassio. So now, Desdemona became very fearful of the fact that if this is the fact behind the handkerchief, then, and now that I have lost it, then it is likely that Othello will stop loving me. I will lose the love of my husband. So she tried to, relax the situation. She tried to relax the tense situation, talking to Othello and saying that, "Please don't think about that handkerchief." And then she said, to divert his then she said that, "I know why you are talking of this handkerchief. You're trying to divert my attention from pleading for Michael Cassio, right? And I can understand that, but that won't happen." And then she started praising Cassio, and once again pleading for him. And it means when she started talking only about Cassio, after some time Othello could not bear it anymore, and he just stormed out of the room. And then Desdemona realized that Othello had become jealous of Cassio. We stop here today. We'll do the rest of it in the next class. Thank you.